She-Hulk episode 3. This episode is basically following last week's cliffhanger, spoilers, obviously. Um and I did like the fourth wall break in this episode where she's like, "Don't think this is going to be a cameo every week show," because I mean, it is going to be a cameo every week show. I don't know if exactly all 9 episodes are going to have cameos, but it probably would make sense. I mean, if they're not major cameos, they're going to be like side character Marvel cameos. Like in this episode we got Wong, but we may get like smaller characters from the comics, not necessarily from like the Marvel movies. Um and this would be the best way to introduce them. Like, you're not gonna throw um, like this elf lady that was in this episode in a Marvel movie, but she works in this episode, which is funny. So I think Abomination is weird because I feel like these plots about these cases. It's kind of interesting. This show is very weird from a Marvel show perspective because Marvel shows have a plot, have a goal that they're reaching to, and then they come to a conclusion by the end. This show really doesn't have that because this show's a week to week sitcom basically about a She-Hulk lawyer. And that's kind of what this show is. And that's where all the humor comes from. And I'm kind of just now realizing that, right? Because realistically, who really gives a shit whether or not Abomination gets removed from prison? Like, what's the point of watching that play out? Well, it's probably just because week to week sitcom. But I think it was fun watching that, and I enjoyed watching it. I liked seeing Wong show up, and he was funny in the episode. Um, a lot of people I were seeing disappointed with the reason Wong needed Abomination, but like, who really gives a shit? It's not a big deal. Um, Basically, the reason he says that he needed him was he needed an opponent that was equal to his strength to fight in battle to become Sorcerer Supreme. So, well, he fought he fought Abomination, which is cool. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see Abomination. Maybe he could be like part of the Thunderbolts or something. That'd be cool. The people have already theorized that, anyways, but that'd be cool. Or some kind of like villain team, anyways. He was fun in this episode, and then the other side plot was just a goofy side story of like a sitcom that doesn't really matter. That is funny enough that it doesn't really matter too much. So I think this episode isn't as good as the first two. It's not laugh out loud funny like some of the gags in the earlier episodes. In fact, a lot of it's pretty meh in this episode, but it's just fun to watch, I guess, and I'm excited to see where the show goes. I just kind of like that this show is a week to week sitcom. Not every episode of a week to week sitcom is 10 out of 10 funny, but it's usually enjoyable enough that you keep watching. I didn't like every episode of Seinfeld, but a lot of the episodes of Seinfeld that I love, I go back to over and over again. And this show is kind of maybe like that for me. Some of the gags or whatever. Like sitcoms, I don't even necessarily go back to the episodes very much. It's more like you remember some of the gags and you quote moments from them and they're funny. And maybe like every once in a while you get like a really classic episode you go back and watch over and over again. But this was a good episode. Let me know your thoughts, section, just subscribe. See you guys next time.